Vic died by Teto. Vic died by Teto. He's like, for Brooklyn, and fucking Cuomo. He's always yelling at the video, like, you work for us, you fucking cocksuckers. Vic died by Teto. He said we've opened Pandora's box. Actually, he says when it comes to the insanity that you see in America, Donald Trump, he wasn't, he was a big catalyst, but essentially the cloak, the, racism and insanity that is the United States now is visible for the entire world to see. We're not talking about opening Pandora's box. We're talking about opening Pandora's warehouse. Brooklyn, this is my Brooklyn accent. Ben Shapiro is trending because he doesn't want to call Jill Biden doctor. This is the hill he's going to die on. This is his San Juan Hill, let's march, let's, invade, run, whatever. What do you say when you're invading? I don't know. So Ben Shapiro is trending because he doesn't want to call Jill Biden doctor. She got a doctorate from, a college doctorate degree education by writing papers or some shit. Basically, everybody who does it calls themselves a doctor. Ben Shapiro, he's like, doctor? Nah, she's more like a snoctor, right? And he chuckles. If you're not impressed by Harvard Law, you certainly should not be impressed by a degree from University of Delaware in education. So it's a master's degree, right? So when I was at Harvard Law, an actual prestigious law school, he actually said prestigious like a fucking prick. Fuck you, Ben Shapiro. Tucker Carlson said that Jill Biden is a doctor, like Dr. Pepper is a doctor. If somebody is dying and they call a doctor is there a doctor around? And you know what? Dr. Pepper could be a doctor. I don't know who the fuck Dr. Pepper... What is Dr. Pepper named after? Maybe it was named after a real doctor.
I guarantee you the person dying would have been very, very disappointed to learn that it was a doctorate in musicology. If you're ever on a plane, this happened before because, as everyone knows, my wife is an actual doctor, meaning a medical doctor, meaning somebody who can take care of you if you have a medical issue. If you're ever on a plane, and the pilot says, we have a doctor on board. If you raise your hand because you're a doctor of gender studies, you're an asshat. You're not helpful. You're not a helpful human being. There's a vast distinction between people who are medical doctors and people who are everything else. Now, if you want to be pedantic about this and say, yes, Dr. Joe Biden, well, she has a PhD. Okay, you want to call her Professor Joe Biden? That makes more sense, right? If she teaches or something. I mean, it's PhD, right? That's what we typically do. But the suggestion that somebody is Dr. Jill Biden and that she has no capacity. By the way, her doctorate is in education, which, not to crap on the field of education, but to crap a little bit on the field of education. If you got like your doctorate in education, I'm sorry, that is not even in the same ballpark.
Pedantic is a person who is excessively concerned with minor details and rules or with displaying academic learning. Yeah, he is very pedantic. Not to be pedantic, but Harvard is so much better than the University of Delaware. Not to nitpick, but Harvard Law, you don't know what the fuck she had to study. How are you going to criticize the entire program at the University of Delaware when you don't even know what the fuck is going on? The doctorate program, so let's see, you got high school, right, and then you get a 4-year degree. That's a bachelor's degree, a bachelor of arts, a bachelor's of science. And then if you go above that, then you can get masters. You could be a master of education, political science, master of, jack of all trades, master of none. You actually get to be a master of, some educational egghead fucking shit. Psychology, fucking sociology, whatever. So not to be pedantic, and everybody who does this, everybody who gets a master's degree, so your college is your 4 years bachelor's, master's degree is above college, right? So it's like, a lawyer or a fucking doctor. You're basically, becoming a doctor in something, not a doctor in, we need more doctors, but all right, you're going to be a doctor in sociology, fine. Fine, so everybody does it. Everybody that goes through, they all call themselves doctor, but it is kind of dumb. It is stupid. This is a dumb hill for him to die on. This is a sword that he's going to fall upon. I don't even know why people are talking about it, but he's #1 trending on this shit. First Lady Jill Biden does sound good. Doctor, she can keep doctor. It doesn't, I don't really give a shit one way or another, but, I think they make good points, right? Is there a doctor around? Oh, you're a doctorate of sociology, so can you tell us how the group setting is? What is the social psychology of everybody just watching a person who's bleeding out and nobody does shit? Do you want to discuss that?
As even like a JD, let alone an MD or a PhD in maths and hard sciences. Okay, I'm a liberal arts guy, which means my degrees mean so much less than anybody who's in mathematics or physics, let alone medicine, where you actually take care of
liberal
people
arts?
and try to make sure that they are okay.
Did Ben Shapiro just say that his degree is in liberal arts? I think he found liberal arts. There's no...
Physically. Okay, the reason that this comes up is, again, because people get confused about Dr. Jill Biden, because everybody insists in the media on calling her Dr. Jill, because, wow, she has a graduate degree. Ooh, a graduate degree. Again, as a person with a graduate degree, let me just say, graduate degrees, they don't mean squat. They don't. Okay, I'm crapping on my own degree right now, and I went to Harvard Law School. And yes, it doesn't mean a whole hell of a lot. It means that you're smart enough to get a degree. Congrats. But I'm sorry, if you got a doctorate in education, because you wrote a paper called, I'm not kidding you, this is Dr. Jill Biden's dissertation at the University of Delaware. Okay, it is called Student Retention at the Community College Level, Meeting Students' Needs. Wow. Groundbreaking Kantian analysis.
He is such a snobby, arrogant fuck. Maximizing student retention in community college, that's a good thing, okay? We want to maximize student retention in community colleges. I think that, education is rightfully the entire echelon, the hierarchy. It's rightfully, they should shit on education. So, unfortunately, I agree with them. I think that, the points that they're making is logically sound. Jill Biden, she wants to be a doctor. She could be a doctor if she wants. But we all now know, because that's true, that is disingenuous and it is a lie, right? Oh, hey, doctor, here's Dr. Tim Brown. Oh, hey, Dr. Tim Brown, what you doctoring, huh? Education. I'm a doctor in education. In fact, I would consider myself a doctor in history, doctor in education, a doctor in politics. I'm a doctor, so should I go around calling myself a doctor just because, I didn't get the... Whatever, I don't want to... So, yeah, University of Delaware, 2007, she got her doctorate, so therefore she is a doctor. I don't care if she calls herself a doctor. I think First Lady is way better. Dr. Jill Biden, I think it's a little disingenuous because you think it's a real doctor, and then it's like, oh, a fake doctor. Not a real doctor, one of them fake doctors. And it's like, fuck, you actually took more away from yourself by calling yourself a doctor than if you just said, I'm Jill Biden and I'm an expert when it comes to retaining students in community colleges. That, to me, says a whole, that says more precisely who you are and what you're about than, just saying, well, I studied and wrote not one paper. It's her dissertation, so I'm sure she wrote several papers. Right, a doctorate program. So, okay, Ben, one more time, one more minute.
College needs
We're done
at community colleges. And you insist that everybody call you doctor. This is no less irritating than when Barbara Boxer was grilling somebody from the military, and he called her Mrs. Boxer or something. She said, it's Senator. Okay, if you insist on your... First of all, you've never met a medical doctor who does that. If you have to insist on your honorific, it's because you're being a douchebag. I don't care whether you're a man, whether you're a woman. That's the way it works. If you insist on your honorific because you're insulted that nobody calls you by your honorific, you're a douche. Okay, I've met, at this point, hundreds, probably thousands of doctors. Okay, not one of them has ever, if we're introduced, not one of them, if I say Mr. X, has ever said, no, it's doctor. It's only some schmuck who has a degree in classics who's like, no, it's doctor. Okay,
Ben Shapiro is going to keep on dunking. This is low-hanging fruit. People are going, oh, it's sexist. How dare they? It's not sexist.
Stop calling herself Dr.
It's not sexist.
Giving people the impression
question the men who say doctors too. Insist to have doctor in front of their names.
Goldberg suggested that Joe Biden make her Surgeon General. What's she going to do? Educate your arm? Like, well, okay,
that's what?
Ooh, I'm gonna teach about the educational strategies with regard to cancer analysis. Good.
Oh, Ben.